Right. When I went a couple weeks ago, she's all, "Oh my gosh, your blood pressure is normal."
Right. So you naturally cured your blood pressure issue. Do you feel that?
Yeah.
What does it feel like to have taken control of your life in that way and to know that you're
Oh,
never going to have a potassium issue because you don't have to get on any med related to your blood
it's
pressure ever again?
good because I was constantly worried about the blood pressure. I take it sometimes 20 or 30 times a day.
So can you say I have more control over my life than I previously thought?
I have more control over my life than I previously thought.
If you're fed the fuck up with being fat the same way that I was for my entire life and the same way that my mom is right now, do not skip this video. You owe it to yourself to see what it looks like to actually put obesity behind you for good in a way that is sustainable. This is specifically for the people that were in my position of losing weight and gaining it back every single year on a variety of different diets and programs from gurus that were never fat in the first place, telling you to eat less, move more with their custom meal plans and their custom workout routines. If you've been falling for this shit and stuck in the cycle of every other day and Monday restarts for your entire life, the next 45 minutes are going to be the thing that changes your life forever, should you be open to that actually being real. And should you be ready to actually change your life, you'll find this to be very helpful. My name is Nick. I lost 110 pounds in 2019 on something that I call the common sense diet system. Now I'm coaching my mom through the exact same system. And all of you have been asking for her update. She hasn't been on the show in the last month. She's coming on live and you're going to hear our most recent coaching call. She's got a ton of updates for you on how her mindset, her relationship with food, and the things that led to her obesity and her anxiety and her stress levels are all so improved. Here's exactly how she's doing it, especially if you're a postmenopausal woman. Don't skip this. Don't let yourself lose hope because you're too old and you've already tried 500 times. Let this be time 501 and take it from my mom, who is in your exact same position. Here we go. End of week 10 on mom's weight loss journey. Everybody's been asking how you're doing and messaging me wondering why you haven't been on the show for the last month. So would you give the people an update on how you're doing 10 weeks into your last weight loss journey ever?
I'm doing good. I am at 197.1 pounds. So I'm averaging about 1.2 pounds a week. So I'm good with that.
And you started at 209 and a half or so?
209.4.
So you're down 12 pounds in 10 weeks.
12.3.
Okay, I'm going to round down there a little bit. You want to give me that third of a pound? And
Yep.
you say you feel good about that. When we first started working together, and I first started coaching you, you said that you were going to be losing 2 to 3 pounds a week. And I had told you that that might be a little bit too fast. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So now we're right in that 1 to 1.5 pound. Does it feel too slow for you? Or what do you feel like averaging a little over 1 pound per week?
Well, of course, I would like more. But no, I'm good with it. I mean, I had two weeks where I gained. So with it being averaging a little over 1.25 pounds a week with me having 2 gain weeks, I'm good.
And then with those gain weeks, you then just kind of kept going and then the weight just came off afterwards, right?
Yeah. And
So
this week I'm definitely,
you now know that when you have, because you're going to have a week at some point again where you don't lose or you don't lose enough, in air quotes for those that are just listening, or you gain a slight amount because you're bloated from whatever, you know that
Right.
if you just continue going, that it's going to be as if that week never happened. Because at this point, it's like those weeks never happened in the first place, right?
Right. And I
Any
do
other-
feel bloated, like I'm retaining water.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to the bathroom like I should. I think I went like 3 times last week.
Why aren't you going to the bathroom?
I don't know.
Are you choosing to not go, or your body's just not?
Yeah, I'm
letting you go?
holding it. I decided I'm just going to hold it for a few days. You know, who doesn't want to do that?
That way you can weigh more and then have a bigger loss next week.
Exactly. Yes, I'm holding it in.
Did you ever do this stuff when you before we started this journey? Did you ever at any point in your life do the like not drink water the night before your weigh-in so that you would weigh less and that kind of stuff? You never did that?
I drink water all night long when I'm sleeping. I drink probably realistically 20 to 30 ounces of water.
How do you drink water when you're sleeping? How does that work?
Well, I mean, I'm constantly reaching for my water bottle.
You sleep drink?
Yeah, I'm a sleep drinker.
How's your sleep been?
Better. I moved back to the bed the other night because the puppies are all gone except for mine. So I'm not out with the puppies. So I do notice that now that I'm back in my bed though, and I love my bed, my body is sore the next day. So for a couple of years, I keep saying, oh, I'm just getting older. I'm sore. When I was on the couch, I was 90% less sore. So we might need to get a new bed.
Okay, we're going to go through what we're going to do on this coaching call today. Is we're going to go through our weekly check-in so that I can see where you're at with some of the specific things that we're measuring, like cravings, hunger, motivation, and that sort of stuff. Okay.
Okay.
Then we're going to go into a short 10 to 15 minute exercise around sustainability specifically. So the intention of this call is for us to leave figuring out and being really clear on what we might be what we're not doing that we might need to be doing in the long run, so we can figure out the gap between who we are now and who we want to be in the long run. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'll walk you through it. You gave me a yeah that was like it didn't make sense, but it's okay. It'll make sense in a
Yeah.
little
Well, I
bit.
won't know until you tell me what to do.
I think people think that you get on these calls and we have some kind of script, like you know what we're getting into, but people
I
need
know
to know like,
nothing.
you have no idea what we're doing on this call.
The first time I asked you what we are going to talk about and you wouldn't even tell me.
So people have been messaging me recently. I'm saying that we might be the only people in the world that have ever done this. Son coaches mom on weight loss. I've never seen. I was looking it up. I couldn't find anybody that's done that before. So what does it feel like to be the only mom that's ever been
So
publicly
cool.
coached by their son?
So cool.
You feel honored?
So honored.
Okay. Overall life motivations. We're going to say in the last week in general, not just today. Okay. Overall
What do you mean by
life motivation. 1 through 10 is you wake up in the morning and you're like, fuck yes, I'm so excited to be here. A 1 is you're waking up going, oh my God, what am I even doing? I don't want to get out of bed. 10 is like, I'm just high on life. Where are you at on that scale?
Probably a 6 or a 7. I mean, of course I want to be here, but I don't wake up going blah ever.
Okay. Overall, we're going to talk about hunger versus cravings. Hunger is like my stomach needs food. I feel empty. 1 through 10. 10 is I'm starving every day. 1 is I don't think I was hungry one time in the last week.
2, 2.5.
When are you experiencing hunger?
Either in the morning or after like 7 or 8 at night, because I try to eat my dinner around 4:30 or 5.
Why do you eat
And my
dinner?
husband eats between like 8 and 10.
Why are you eating dinner so early?
I've always done that. I like to eat earlier.
Does
And
that
I don't
hunger?
want to.
I know it's only a 2 to 2.5, but does that feel manageable for you, or does it feel like a pain in the ass?
No, I manage it. I don't go eat anything.
Doesn't it feel good to be hungry in the morning? Like you wake up and you're ready to get breakfast?
No, I don't like the feeling.
So hunger is a 2 to 2.5 out of 10. Overall cravings. So we're calling this thinking about food. Like a 10 out of 10 would be I'm constantly craving and thinking about food all the time. A 1 out of 10 would be I don't.
Maybe 1 to 2.
Not really ever craving it.
Well, yeah, I'm craving. So
2, and why
like In and Out. I'm excited about In and Out.
Mm-hmm. So why a 2 and not a 7? Like, does it not feel like these cravings are very intense?
Yeah, they're not intense. They don't last long.
So when you have a craving, what are you doing?
Ignoring it.
Just kind of forgetting about it?
Yeah, I don't act on it. I mean, I would act on it if In and Out was near here.
Yeah. Do you feel controlled by the cravings? Well, that's amazing. In the past, you said a couple weeks ago, you said you had a 5 out of 10 cravings into 4 out of 10 hunger. So just to give you an idea of the way that you're progressing, why is it that you think you don't have any cravings or very little?
I don't know. Maybe because I'm just not eating. I mean, I did have Oreos the other day.
How many Oreos did you have?
4.
And when you think about the healthiest version of yourself, let's say the version of yourself that has lost weight and then kept it off, if it's already been 5 years, people forget that you were ever fat. You don't really think about it anymore. Do you think that you eat 4 Oreos every once in a while?
Yeah, probably. But before I would have eaten a whole sleeve.
Yeah. So what did it feel like to go to bed that night and be like, I ate 4 Oreos and not the full sleeve?
Well, good. And I talked to you about it. I mean, I wanted more. And my husband's sister said, take more. And I just said, no, I can't. Then we left her house and it was gone.
What's going through your head in the moment when you say, no, I can't?
Just that I'm not going to do it because I'm going to regret it if I gained weight because of those Oreos.
Is there a sense of pride that comes with the fact that you have the power to say no?
Oh, yeah, I'm proud of myself. I've eaten such little candy compared to normal.
Yeah. So what we want to do is lock that in as what I call a core memory or a reference point. So everything that we're doing on this journey is to get you to believe that you are a healthy person. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So what healthy people would do, what I would do in that situation is eat 4 Oreos and that would be it. So you're going in, instead of saying, I can't eat the Oreos because I'm on a diet, you're saying, yes, I'm going to have a few. Everybody wants more Oreos, including healthy people that were never fat or never dealt with food issues. Like even your husband wants more than 4 Oreos after he eats 4. He just kind of says no because that's how he's been raised, right?
Right.
So you're doing what a healthy person would do in that scenario. It's a little bit harder for you because we haven't done it a lot, but now you have a memory of doing that. So as we keep building more healthy memories, you're going to start to believe in the sustainability of what we're doing. You see the connection there?
Yes, I do.
So good job. It's really cool. And congratulations on having that power over the food. You're kicking ass. Okay. I like the foods that I am eating 1 through 10. 10 is I love them. 1 is what is this weight loss food bullshit?
Probably a 7 because it's not like I'm eating weight loss food.
What's your favorite meal that you're eating regularly right now?
Pizza. Almost every day.
When you say pizza, people might be getting the wrong idea, but why don't you explain how you are making pizza?
I take a flour tortilla. I put it in the oven and get a little crunchy like a pizza because I like my pizza crunchy. And then I put pizza sauce on it, cheese, hamburger, onions, and bell peppers.
So you're getting a full
Stick
4
it back
ounces
in
of meat.
there.
You're getting 4 full ounces of meat on there.
Right.
So you're getting tons of protein. We're getting a normal amount of cheese without overdoing it. We're using tomato sauce that has almost no calories. So it's almost entirely whole foods there, besides the tortilla. We might not call a whole food, but for you, we're doing 1 serving of bread or tortilla per day, right? So on days when we're not doing that, we might do a sandwich or a wrap or something of that nature. Again, for most people, I would recommend not eating bread on a daily basis. But for you, you grew up not eating healthy foods ever. So all the healthy foods that we've introduced actually are already kind of a bit of a stretch, right? So for you, it's you're eating pizza every day, but let's not sell yourself short. You're throwing on a lot of healthy meat and you're throwing on some peppers and other things to make it really filling. It's not just like this little tiny tortilla, right?
No, yeah. It's like getting a little personal pizza from like Shakey's or something.
And when you think about making something like that versus doing like some low calorie, high protein recipe pizza, like a Quest pizza or something like that, you're eating a very, 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 very healthy version of a pizza, not just a low calorie pizza. Do you see the difference there?
Yeah.
Like the foods are actually pretty quality. And the reason why you're not having cravings is because you are eating a sufficient amount of food without actually starving yourself the way that we've done in the past. Okay, talk to me about I am missing candy, 1 through 10. 10 is I miss candy.
Probably like a 3. I mean, I've had little pieces like the girl that cleans our house. She leaves little candies like next to the bed or something, and I'll have one. I used to eat all of them before she even left the house.
1 through 10, I feel supported by other people in my life on my weight loss
10.
journey, excluding me.
10.
10, okay. How have things been going with the dynamic of your husband on the journey? In what ways is he supporting you?
Well, he is,
Your husband, should I call him dad?
yeah. He's going to be your kid's grandpa.
Guess he will.
He'd be the best dad that you could have. Well, he supports me in anything I do. I mean, he's there rooting me all along all the time. And he's not eating the sweets in front of me anymore either.
Have you noticed any differences in your relationship since you've lost this weight?
No, our relationship's always pretty good.
Have there been any?
I guess we're going out and walking the dogs together more. Like yesterday, we went to the beach and took the dogs swimming.
And you guys are looking into getting a membership together where you can be more active at a club, right?
Yeah, we actually applied for the Elks Club. So they have workout equipment and everything.
Amazing. So you guys are doing some more active things together.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Well, he always wants to be active.
But in the past, you were not in a good position to be active for a lot of reasons outside of just food,
Right.
body pain, that sort of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Now you're in a position where you are being active almost every day.
Yes.
Talk to me about your medical anxiety. 1 through 10, medical anxiety. 10 is there's anxiety raging through my veins. 1 is I don't have any medical anxiety.
I'd say probably maybe a 4 to a 6, maybe a 5.
That's significantly lower. So the first week that we were working together, you said
10.
stress anxiety level 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
And you worked your way down to a 9 and then another 10 and then another 10. The lowest you've had is a 7. So you're feeling like you might be in the 4 to 6 range. Are you feeling less stressed and less anxious overall this last week?
Oh, yeah. I got a sleep test. And so I have sleep apnea. So they said that could be a reason that some days when my arms and legs feel so tired, like I've done 100 push-ups and it just hurts to lift it doesn't hurt. It's just tired. Now I know that might be the reason. And now I'm sleeping better since the puppies are gone and I'm not feeling like that as much.
And to remind you, you also have normal blood pressure for the first time, like basically ever right now, right?
Well,
Or in a
not
long
ever.
time.
I had normal blood pressure and then it went up when I started gaining more weight last year.
The reason why you and I actually started working together is because you had a medical scare so you had high blood pressure, right? They put you on blood pressure medication. The blood pressure medication dropped your potassium levels. Remember we talked about this on the first call?
Yeah.
And then you started having heart palpitations or heart electrical feeling issues that caused a bunch of anxiety because
Oh,
your
yeah.
potassium
It
levels
messed
were
up
low.
my whole EKG and they hospitalized me.
So something that we talked about on the first call, and it'd be fun to go back and listen to that. I know it's been a few months, is if your blood pressure wasn't high, hypothetically, none of that would have ever happened.
It would not have happened.
And now your blood pressure isn't high and you're not on any medication that has anything to do with your blood pressure.
They took me off the medication because they didn't know what they would put me on next and said, let's just take it.
Right.
I was only on it for like a week or 2 and that
Right.
happened.
But listen, so you were in a position a couple months ago where your blood pressure was high and the doctor says, let's get you on blood pressure meds. Instead of saying, no, I'm going to take control of my life, you said, yes, okay. Right. And then we talked and then we were like, what if you take control of your life? And then we started this journey and now you actually have. Now, if you go to the doctor, they would never even bring up the medication because you wouldn't need it anymore.
Right. When I went a couple weeks ago, she's all, "Oh my gosh, your blood pressure is normal."
Right. So you naturally cured your blood pressure issue. Do you feel that?
Yeah.
What does it feel like to have taken control of your life in that way and to know that you're
Oh,
never going to have a potassium issue because you don't have to get on any med related to your blood
it's
pressure ever again?
good because I was constantly worried about the blood pressure. I take it sometimes 20 or 30 times a day.
So can you say I have more control over my life than I previously thought?
I have more control over my life than I previously thought.
Do you feel the
Don't
truth in
do
that
that
though?
to me. What?
Do you actually feel that a little bit?
Well, yeah, I do.
Because the alternative is you let's say that you got on that blood pressure medication. Well, you did.
I did. Yeah.
But let's say that there was no potassium issue from that. So you never went to the ER and had that multiple days scare, right?
Right.
You would just be existing on blood pressure medication right now, and you'd be on a lifetime of blood pressure medication
Right.
instead of having the pride of like, I actually didn't need the medication. You literally cured it. And it's the same thing with your anxiety. Through doing that, you're actually curing your anxiety is significantly lower. You're not on any anxiety medication right now, right?
Right.
It's like, so you do have control over your life, is what I'm saying. And we're only 10 weeks in. We give it another 10 weeks. That 4 to 6 might drop to a 2 to 3, which would be pretty normal. Like, you probably be a little bit anxious and a little bit stressed out about things in life forever to some degree. It's not like you're
Yeah.
never going to be stressed, but you're not eating your feelings anymore. You're not using candy as a mechanism to cope anymore. And you're facing things head on, even though you're going through actually harder things right now than you have in a long time, like with your friend who has cancer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So things are actually tangibly pretty stressful, but your stress levels feel lower.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm really proud of you, and it's really cool. And
Thanks,
thank
Nick.
you for taking this work so seriously, and you're really kicking
Thanks
ass.
for helping me.
Yeah, who would have thought? You can teach an old dog new tricks.
Really, old dog.
Postmenopausal women can lose weight sustainably.
It is definitely harder after menopause.
I'm sure. Yeah. And you're capable of doing hard things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Last thing, leg or hip pain, 1 through 10. 10 is, oh my God, my leg and hip pain sucks. 1 is
My
I don't
hip
have
pain
it.
is probably it's probably back up to maybe a 4 because it started to go away and I'm back in the bed and my hip hurts again.
Okay. You were down to a 2 to 3 before, but you started at a 7. So you're back somewhere in the middle. Do you think it has to do with the way that you're sleeping?
I think it's the bed.
When you're walking, do you have leg and hip pain?
Yeah, it gets worse when I walk.
Okay. Is it unbearable or is it like, I can do this?
It's bearable.
Okay. We don't want to push through too much pain to where we're hurting ourselves. So just be aware of that. But right now we're walking like 20 or so minutes a day.
I'm walking usually at least a mile. Yeah.
And you're able to enjoy that walk, or is the pain so bad that you literally can't enjoy it?
No, the pain's not so bad. I mean, it hurts. The longer I walk, the more it hurts.
So we've got better blood pressure. Leg pain is not ideal right now. We like to think that will get better as our weight gets better, and we might be able to address your sleep apnea with your doctor a little bit, right? Sleep
Yeah.
apnea will also get a little bit better as you continue to lose weight. Being overweight is one of the causes of sleep apnea, but it might not be the only cause, or it might not be the cause for you, but it is a cause in general, right? So all of these things could be more connected than we think, or they might be disconnected. Doesn't matter. Either way, losing weight is not going to hurt the issue. It's just going to help. Any other noticeable or notable changes that you want to document, or that I should know about, or that you want to tell the people about? Blood pressure, less anxiety, almost no cravings and hunger.
No, that's it.
So when we started this journey 10 weeks ago, if you were listening to this call right now, would that blow your mind? Are you happy with where you're at, or what do you wish was different?
No, I'm happy with where I am. Well, of course, I would wish that I had lost more weight just to fast forward the process, but no, I'm good.
So what we're going to do is we're going to move into an exercise that I call identifying the gap. So do you remember when we went through that visualization of healthy you in 10 years knocking on the door, and you gave her a hug? We called her Stacy. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And that was the woman that had put obesity behind her, that food was making her life better. She didn't have a lot of cravings. She didn't have such strong negative emotions that were running her life. She felt in control of her own life. And then we
Right.
had the unhealthy version of you that we called Nia Katz, which is Stacy backwards, right?
Right.
And that was like the crippled over woman with her, dogs following her, and she's got her crutch on and ass sweat going down her ass crack and
That's
smelled
not
bad.
ever going to happen. No
Or,
ass sweat.
And like was bald because she was malnutrition. Do you remember that?
Yes,
Your phone ringing, you turn that phone off?
I did. Well, it is off. It just vibrated.
Okay. What we're going to do is figure out where we need to make some changes to become that fullest version of Stacy. So what we're actually exploring through this is how sustainable is what we're doing right now. So do you feel the part of you that's like, I want to lose weight faster? We want to get rid of that by recognizing that we're actually already living the healthiest lifestyle as if we had lost weight. So I'm going to ask you a few questions around if you had already lost the weight and kept it off, how would you be living? And how are we not living like that right now? So when we think about food, if you visualize the healthiest version of yourself, what are they eating in a normal day? What types of foods do you feel like that healthy version of you eats that's already lost the weight?
Well, the healthy version of me would be eating fruits and vegetables all the time, but that's not going to happen. So probably just keep eating the way I'm eating now.
Are you eating any fruits or vegetables? Right? Hold on. What do you mean? Are
Fruits,
you
I
eating
don't
any
eat.
fruits or vegetables?
Well, like onion or bell pepper.
How many servings of fruit are you eating per day?
2 to 3, usually
Okay.
2, sometimes 3.
2 to 3. That's excluding what you might get in a bell pepper, right?
Right.
So you're
Well, a bell
doing right.
pepper is a
What are
vegetable.
what are the bell peppers? Are technically fruits botanically, but yeah, they're culinarily they're vegetables, but they're technically fruits. How are you? So right now you're eating bananas and apples every day,
Sometimes
right?
strawberry will go in my smoothie.
So we're eating 2 to 3 traditional fruits per day, plus we're eating bell pepper, right? So could you say that the healthiest version of you might eat 3 or so servings of fruits per day? That feels pretty
Yeah.
reasonable, right? Yeah, you might do better having one more fruit or a veg, but is it fair to say that you're actually almost doing that right now?
Yeah, I think I'm pushing it with the fruits for me because I don't enjoy fruit. So I'm
Yeah.
pushing the fruit.
And that's the hardest part of this journey for you is figuring out how to like healthy foods. Most people do not relate. That's a me and you. I resonate with that because I never ate them either.
Right.
But most people listen to this and they go, "What the fuck are you talking about, Stacey? Like, eat another piece of fruit. It's not a big deal, right?" But that's not the reality that you and I grew up in and existed in. So I know that doesn't feel really good. Does it feel the same, better, or worse than it did in the beginning?
Oh, it's easier than it was in the beginning.
So are you open to the idea of it getting a little easier to continue to eat some of these healthy foods?
I will. I sure hope so.
Yes, we like to think that it would because it's easier now than it was at first, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we're addressing that and it's changing over time. But if the healthiest version of you eats 3 servings of fruit per day and you're eating 2 to 3 right now, is it fair to say that you are actually doing that or almost doing that?
I'm almost doing that.
Yeah, so we could say there's not really actually much of a gap between that version of you and you right now, right? So the goal is for us to have no gaps. So all these questions that I ask you, when we get to the point where there's no difference between what we're doing now and what she does, that's when we have achieved sustainable weight loss. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so we're close there, but we're not entirely there. I think you would do good to add another fruit. We're working on that. We don't have to have that figured out right now, okay? Okay, next question is, what does she do for fun? The healthiest version of you that's lost weight, kept it off for 5 years, and forgot that she...
Plays with my grandbabies and takes them to the park and horseback riding and all that stuff.
So you don't have grandbabies right now, but sure, she plays with grandbabies, right?
They're coming.
Okay, she plays with grandbabies. She goes horseback riding.
Yeah.
What else does she do for fun?
Probably fishes and kayaks with my hubby.
So fishing, kayaking with the hubby, and horseback riding. What do you do for fun What do you do for fun right now?
Walk. I don't play with my grandbabies because they're not here yet. We haven't kayaked this year, but we're going to. He keeps saying, let's go kayaking and fishing. That's it. I'm going to get a horse. No, I haven't ridden in like 2 years.
Why are you not doing those things right now?
Well, the horse thing, I had a horrible fall like 12 years ago. So I have that little bit of fear in me, even though I've ridden since then. We just haven't gone up to the mountain to go kayaking.
Pausing this episode for 1 second because I've got an ask for you as the viewer. I'd love to keep this show completely ad-free, and the best way you can support me in doing that is by leaving a like or a review on Spotify or Apple or even YouTube if you're watching this instead of listening to it. It really helps me to get this message out to other people that deserve to know there is a world where you can break the cycle of starting diets and then quitting and then hating yourself because you don't think you're disciplined enough. Better yet, send this to one of your friends that would benefit from actually losing weight sustainably and putting the issue behind them for good. They will love you forever for their results, and I will love you forever for helping me support the show and grow my message and my impact. Let's go get back to the show. You see the importance in saying this healthiest version of me does this for fun, but I don't do those things for fun? Is there kind of a bit of like, I'm waiting until I lose weight that goes on in your head? That's what I always had for myself.
Not for that stuff. I mean, of course, I'd probably be more comfortable riding if I wasn't as fat, but I think I've just felt so sick and shitty that I haven't wanted to do any of that stuff.
Yeah, so we kind of think like, when I feel less sick and shitty, then I'll do it, right?
Right.
A lot of the path forward is that you would feel less sick and shitty if you did that. Does that make sense? So you grew up riding horses. That's a part of who you are. And that's a part of what you want for your future because you feel good when you're around horses and riding, right?
Yeah.
So we're trying to figure out for you how we can deal with stress and just create a life where we have less stress in general so that eating is a little easier and our health is easier. Is it
Hmm.
possible that if you spent some time around horses right now, even though you don't feel amazing or perfect, that you would feel better?
Yeah, probably. I went and saw horses this last weekend when I went to the in-laws. They have horses.
Amazing. Amazing. So we do have a bit of a gap, though, in terms of what the healthiest version of you is doing for fun and what you're doing for fun right now. And it's
Hmm.
that she's riding or spending time regularly around horses, and she's doing some more things outdoors than you're doing currently.
Right.
So on this journey, we need to start actually doing those things before we get to our weight loss goal so that there's not a change in behavior after we lose weight. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
So the goal is that at day 100, you're living the same lifestyle that you'll be living 5 years from now to the best of the extent, minus the grandkids thing. I don't know why you keep bringing that up, but I'm not having any kids right now, okay? That I know of. But there is a gap in terms of what we do for fun. So that we're going to write that down as an identified gap. We're not there right now.
And gambling.
What are you talking about in gambling?
I like to gamble for fun. I like to go to a casino.
So the healthiest version of you is gambling for fun?
Yeah. Well, it's fun for me. I don't go very often. I mean, but I love to gamble. You love to gamble too.
Well, I'm,
You
well,
just
I'm an
don't do it.
ex-gambler. I'm an ex-gambling addict, but I've been an addict of a lot of different things in my life. And you have a little bit too, including the phone, which we're going to talk about here in a second. Talk to me about how often is the healthiest version of you on her phone? How many hours per day?
Probably less than an hour.
How many hours per day are you on your phone right now?
I don't know. I'm sure you're going to let me know though.
Well, last time that we looked, how many hours per day were you on your phone?
Can't remember. 8 or 10 maybe.
It was
I remember
9:50.
I work on the phone, so it's not like I'm sitting here going the whole
Right.
time.
It was 9:57. And we said we might give you 5 hours a week of actually working. So maybe 5 hours of free time on the phone.
Oh,
Right?
not 5 hours a week. 5 hours a day of working.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. So
Okay.
maybe 5 hours of like scrolling on the phone or doing other things. And we're just guessing. We don't really know. But when we think about the healthiest version of you, right? When she's doing things for fun, like kayaking and horseback riding and going on regular walks and spending time with her grandkids and those sorts of things, it's fair to say she's not on the phone all the time, right?
No, I'm doing that stuff.
Because you're doing that stuff.
I'd be on the phone taking pictures, but that would
Right,
probably be
right.
about it.
So do you see the difference in the lifestyle between the healthiest version of you and you right now?
Yes.
So we're not currently fully living the most sustainable lifestyle for what we actually want, but we are working towards it and we know what it is that we're working towards, right? But it's fair to say when it comes to sustainability, the phone is a major piece of that. And it's also directly tied to your stress. So what kind of content does the healthiest version of you consume? So think news, radio, newspapers, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. What sort of things does she watch or listen to?
What I don't know. Right now, I just basically Facebook it.
I know, but so the healthiest version of you, not just what platform, but what type of stuff does she consume on the internet?
Well, you're going to probably think health, but I'm not going to be scrolling through health stuff.
I would hope not. I don't scroll through health stuff.
Okay. I'm not really sure. Probably the same thing, just not as much as now.
What is the
I
sort of
don't
stuff?
look at anything bad. I just do Snapchat Snapchat and Facebook.
Yeah, but
and TMZ.
what sort of content are you consuming? So not what is the media channel, but what is the type of content? Example,
Friends
world
and family.
news, just friends and family stuff.
Yeah, I'm not a news person except for P. Diddy stuff.
Yeah. So are you a P. Diddy fan? I don't know if you should share that.
Oh,
on
I hate
spot,
him now. I think he's a horrifying person.
But you liked P. Diddy before.
Liked him before, don't like him now.
So do you think that his music should still be listened to?
Well, yeah, if you like his music, you like his music.
It's
But
kind of like when you think of like Michael Jackson, it's like,
yeah, not into it.
what about Kanye West?
No.
But so
Kanye
it's
is
like
not as bad as either one of them.
right. It's like the artist ended up being so bad in the long run that it kind of devalued their art a little bit.
Devalues their art. I don't want to give anything to them that's going to financially give them any kind of gain.
Well, I don't think P. Diddy's going to be getting any financial gain. He's probably going to get killed in prison the way Epstein did.
Oh, he's getting out soon.
Oh, is he?
Not
See,
guilty, not
I'm not
guilty,
up to date on it. So is the healthiest version of you up to date on what's going on with P. Diddy is the actual
No.
question. That,
No.
but you're up to date on all the kind of the shit going on, the floods here,
Every celebrity thing. Well, yeah, the floods, because you're in Austin. So when I heard about the
Right.
floods, I got freaked
right, but
out.
I didn't even know about the floods. I figured out about the floods in my own state because you were texting me asking how I was doing with the floods that I didn't even know about.
Right.
So do you feel, so it feels like maybe there's not a difference in the type of content that you consume, but there's a difference in the amount of time that you spend consuming it.
Yeah.
And it's not so much about thinking about consuming it less. It's about setting up a life where you're just not aimlessly consuming it because you're doing other things, right?
Yeah.
Okay, makes total sense. Talk to me about cravings and emotional hunger. Do you know what emotional hunger is? Does that term make sense to you?
No.
I feel sad. I want candy. I feel sad. I want pizza. I'm stressed that for you, it would be more I'm stressed out. I want blank. Or I'm stressed out. I'm craving blank.
I don't think that I was an emotional eater.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't get sad and reach for some candy or a cheeseburger. I would just eat
Why?
it when I wanted it
Yeah. Why did you want it?
because I like it,
Well, then why are you not eating it now? Because you like it.
because I want to lose weight.
Right. From my perspective, it's not that you are or aren't an emotional eater, but you emotionally feel better about life right now and less stressed, right?
Right.
And you're not reaching for candy the same way you were before. Does it feel true to you? Do you remember when your friend got diagnosed with cancer recently
Hmm.
and you had a gain week and you said that you had gained weight because you were really stressed and spending a lot of time in researching and that sort of stuff, right?
Right.
So when you experienced a large amount of emotion, it changed your behavior. You walked less and you ate worse that week, right?
I spent the whole time on the phone trying to figure out her rare cancer.
So that is emotional eating. You're changing what you're putting into your body over a period of time because you're experiencing a strong emotion. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like,
Yeah.
oh my God, I'm sad because, me and my husband got in a fight. Let me eat a pizza. It doesn't need to be like that. It can be
Right.
something that's more like overall life is hard right now. I'm not taking my health as seriously. So that is a
Yeah,
form
I
of
understand
emotion.
that.
Yeah. So you do have you're not like an emotional binge eater, right? But you're not killing yourself with food intentionally. But when you experience negative emotion, it changes what you eat. So we call that emotional hunger. For
Okay.
you, the healthiest version of yourself, how do you deal with extreme cravings or extreme emotional hunger?
If I'm Stacy,
Yeah,
like my,
healthy Stacy 5 years from now.
how do I deal with it? The same way I'm doing now. I just kind of put it in the back of my mind.
Yeah. So is it fair to say there's not a ton of a gap there? Like you're already doing that.
Yeah, I'm definitely already doing that. I mean, there's sometimes I act on it,
Yeah.
but
It's a
I
bit of
don't
a
go
it's a bit
crazy.
of a trick question because the healthiest version of you probably doesn't have emotional hunger. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you experience a hard emotion, like what the news that you got a couple weeks ago about your friend, it doesn't really change the foods that you're eating because you just naturally eat healthy food. So I know we're not the same people. We'll just use myself as an example. When I just went through all that stress that happened in Colombia with the burn and then the travel and then going into anaphylactic shock, that was like the most stressful 3 days I've ever had, probably. Right?
Me
But it
too.
didn't. Yeah, yeah, right. But it didn't change what I was eating. So it didn't change my movement. I still walked every day. I didn't eat worse food. I still ate the same quality food. It wasn't really a question of like how am I going to eat? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think about the healthiest version of you, it's a bit of a trick question. Like right now, we're still working through cravings, working through how to navigate our emotions. But the healthiest version of you doesn't actually think about these things. They're just not really issues in the first place.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and we don't have to be there right now. That can take as long as it needs to, or we may never get there. But that's the intention that we're setting, and that's what it is that we're working towards. The mirror. So when the healthiest version of you looks at herself in the mirror, what
Mm-hmm.
does she feel?
Happy
Why does she feel happy?
because she's healthy and she's lost her weight and it's not an issue.
hmm What does she feel about herself as a person? So you go straight to the body, which I love, but what does she feel about herself as a person?
Well, she's happy because she's healthy. She doesn't have any of that stress.
The stress around her weight?
Yeah, and health,
And what do you feel when you look at yourself in the mirror right now?
fat,
What do you feel about so again, you go straight to the body, right? What do you feel when you look at yourself in the eyes in the mirror?
fat, old.
Yeah. What do you feel about what does your soul feel like? Do you feel pride? Do you feel disgust? Do you feel, I can't believe I got this way in the first place? Do you feel I'm so happy that I'm making progress? Like, what's the first emotion that comes
All of
up?
the above. I mean, I'm happy that I'm making progress, but disgust that I let it go this far and this
Yeah.
long.
Yeah. And if you were to speak to yourself in the mirror right now, what would you say?
You're losing weight. You could do this. You are
You
doing
might
this.
say, yeah. You might say, like, I'm disgusted that I got this far, but I am doing this and you are putting this behind you, right?
Yeah.
So you'd be like really honest instead of being like, I love you, you got this, airy fairy. You'd be like, no,
Yeah.
this is
I'm not
bullshit.
going to, that's
Yeah.
just not me.
This is bullshit that we got this far and I'm fixing this issue right now.
Yeah.
In the healthiest version of you, I'm using my own words, but what you're kind of getting at is would be like, I'm happy for you, you did it, I'm proud of you, like that kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is also radically honest. So is it fair to say that even though what you would say is different, it's the same because you're just telling yourself the truth in both situations? So there's not
That's true.
actually that much of a gap There's a difference. There's a gap in the feeling, but there's not a gap in like the energy in which you would speak, which is just pure truth.
Right. Yeah, I don't
So
sugarcoat anything.
so everything that we just went through, again, the intention is to figure out in what areas are we not living like our healthiest self. We went through what kind of foods does she eat in a day? And there's not a ton of a gap, but there's a little bit of a gap when it comes to you'd probably eat a little bit more fruit or some vegetables sometime potentially, but maybe not. I don't eat
No,
vegetables very rarely, right?
not happening. Yeah.
But when it comes to fruit, you might eat another serving of fruit consistently, but we're almost there. That's something that we're addressing. When it comes to what you do without fun or for fun, there's quite a bit of a gap there. You spend a lot more time outside, you're around horses, you're walking more, you're hiking more, you're kayaking more, right?
Right.
We haven't done that because we don't feel good. We know that if we do those things now, we will feel better than we do right now, right? We've got the gap in the content in the amount of time that she's on the phone is a huge gap that is a frustrating one because you're just the most phone addicted person I've ever met in my entire fucking life, right?
How do I look again to see if I did it less?
And I'll show you afterwards. We don't have to do that right now.
Okay.
And then when it comes to emotions, the gap is that she probably just has a little bit less urges. She's not really questioning her cravings or any of those things because she just doesn't have them the same way, right? And you've already made a ton of progress on that because you're 2 to 3 on hunger and cravings versus 10 cravings when we first started. So we're open to the idea of that getting down to a 0 or 1 over time, right? So not a ton of a gap there. And then the last thing is when it comes to the mirror, how does she speak to herself in the mirror and how does she feel? There's a gap in how she feels because right now you don't feel great when you look in the mirror, but you do feel great in the mirror in your future self. But there's no gap in the way that you're speaking to yourself because you're being radically honest both times, right?
Right.
So overall, when we look at sustainability is defined by how close are you living to the healthiest version of yourself right now? How sustainable, based on all those that we just went through, do you feel like this is for you right now?
You're asking me how sustainable? It's totally sustainable.
Which one of these gaps do you think you could address to make this feel more like you're living like your healthiest self?
Well, obviously eating better, eating vegetables, but it's not going to happen.
Where is this eating vegetables thing coming from all of a sudden?
Because everybody says, oh, you need to eat, X amount of servings of fruits and vegetables.
Mom, I've not eaten. I eat one vegetable per month and have for the last 4 years.
You eat onion every day though, right?
Sure. Yeah. It's loosely a vegetable, but yeah, technically, I guess. Yeah. But I'm not. I don't eat asparagus or lettuce or any of these more broccoli, any of these more traditional vegetables.
Right.
I don't eat. The nutrients that you're looking for is in meat and fruit. If you like vegetables, that's great. But let's drop the vegetable thing and feeling like we need to eat vegetables.
Oh, I'm good
Okay?
with that.
I live a very healthy lifestyle. I don't eat vegetables. I eat a lot of meat and fruit. So you don't need them. If you like them, that's great, but it's not a necessity. You need fruit in your diet. Fruit is the cravings killer, and there's a ton of nutrients in fruit that give you a lot of energy and just make you feel better about life, okay? But what do you think is the biggest one of these gaps that we can address this week? So what we want to do is walk away being like, here's the gap that I'm working on closing.
Well, doing something that's fun, doing more in my life than I do now.
What is something that we might be able to do in the next week that the
Well, this
healthiest
week is
person can
super
do?
busy. Like I'm going to Seattle and going to a wedding, which that's going to be fun.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Your
What are you
goddad,
wearing?
who's your
What are you wearing?
cousin,
What are you wearing to the wedding?
a dress.
How do you feel about wearing a dress at the wedding?
Well, I'm fine with it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You have to get a new dress or what? You lost 12 pounds. Do clothes fit you the same?
Yeah, my stuff is getting a little bit big, but I have lots of dresses. But no, I did buy a new one. I Amazoned a dress,
Mm-hmm.
size 12,
What were you before?
probably a 14 maybe.
What does it feel like to maybe
But
be
this
a
dress
size
isn't
12?
stretchy, and usually I get stretchy clothes, so I do feel a little constricted in it because it doesn't stretch.
Yeah.
So that's different. But
Yeah. So the gap that you think we could work on closing in the coming weeks is the what we do for fun gap.
yeah, and I'm
So
sure we're
in
going to
the-
go up and go kayaking soon.
How do you feel about making it a goal to kayak in the next 2 weeks?
I will make it a goal.
You want to do
I'll
that?
take pictures to prove it.
Amazing. Do you see the importance in actually just living the life that we want to live right now?
Yeah, for sure.
Because the part of you that's like, I wish the biggest issue that we're running into right now, and by issue, I mean area of improvement and opportunities, that you wish things were going a lot faster, right? The reason why we wish things were faster is because we think that life is going to be better after we lose weight, right? The reason why you want to lose weight is so that you can live the lifestyle of somebody that has already lost the weight, right? What
So
I'm
you're saying
is
do it now.
you can live the lifestyle right now, and it takes all of the pressure off of the wishing that you were losing weight faster. Do you see that connection?
Yeah.
I'm saying let's go do it right now because you've already lost weight multiple times, and then over time you've gained the weight back. What we're doing to avoid that, okay, how do I keep it off? Is we're going to just start fully living it right now so that the day after you hit your weight loss goal, there's literally no change in what we're eating. There's no change in what we're doing. There's no change in what we do for fun. There will be a change in the way you feel, but that should be the only change that happens after you hit your weight loss goal.
Okay. I get it.
You get it? You seem really entertained. What's the biggest thing you've learned about yourself in the last 10 weeks?
That this is possible before. I mean, I don't know if I thought it was possible before. I mean, I guess I did think it was possible, but I would just go back to the way I was eating.
Yeah. What would
Quickly.
you say to all of the postmenopausal women that listen to this show that are like, Stacey, you've done this before. You've always gained the weight back. This isn't really going to be any different. What would you say to them?
Yeah, they're full of shit. I'm going to make sure it's this time. I'm
Yeah.
too old to keep doing it over and over.
What's different about this time than what you've done before?
That my son is coaching me.
Of course, right? But what's different about the things I'm coaching you through than the things that you've done before?
Well, before I either had the shot or would count every calorie on an app or something like that. I'm not doing that stuff now. That's totally different.
Does this feel a little bit less obsessive?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the shot made me sick. Counting the calories gets a little bit old, even though I kind of would learn a lot of them in my head. But
yeah. Have you ever even on your previous, and if you have, that's great. I never did. But on your previous attempts, had you ever even like really sat with the idea of sustainability, or was it always just I'm trying to lose weight as fast as I can?
no, and everybody would say, "What are you going to do when you get to your weight? Are you just you're going to gain it back really quick?"
Yeah, but
Not
you never.
this. They haven't said it this time, but they've said it before. Like, what are you going to do? I'm like, I don't know. I'm just going to get there, and that's all I want.
So this is your first time getting really clear on how you want to live and how we could start living like that right now.
Yes.
And this is also the first time you've ever even thought about your mindset or your relationship with food, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm putting some words into your mouth right now, but from my
But
perspective,
I've never thought of it.
yeah, from my perspective, what we're doing here is very different than what I've seen you do in the past. Because in the past, we've only changed what we've eaten in our movement. We've never even asked ourselves why we were eating these foods in the first place.
True.
Anything else you want to say to the people? Probably be a few weeks till you're back on the show. You got any words of motivation for the postmenopausal women listening to this podcast today?
You could definitely do it. I say it in all my videos. If I could do it, you could do it. And I'm not just saying that. I am a hard case. I am. The doctor even says that. They go, "You're difficult. This is hard."
Yeah, well, you're cruising now. We're losing weight week after week. Even some of these weeks are just half a pound. But as we start to close these gaps, it's going to take the pressure off of the weight that we're losing. So homework is you got a lot of fun stuff going on the next week. The week that you get back, we're going to go kayaking or get some time around some horses and start living more of that lifestyle right now, okay?
Yeah. This week will be hard because I've got your sister's birthday, even though I don't know if I'm going to see her tomorrow. And then I've got cousin Nick's wedding, which is Italian food and cake. And then I've got my birthday next week. So there's going to be a lot of cake days. Cake.
So if you had to follow up that sentence with another sentence, this week is going to be hard and blank, and fill in the blank.
And I'm going to eat cake.
Right.
I'm just not going to eat 5 pieces of cake.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully I don't gain any weight. I'm hoping that I don't. But of course, all week long, I stress about it when there's something coming up. Like, what if you gain weight because you ate that cake?
So what if you gain weight because you ate the cake? Let's answer the
Well,
question.
I'll be upset. I won't be happy
Why not?
because I would have gained weight.
Right, but there's already been 2 weeks on this journey where you've gained weight and it didn't matter, right?
I know. Well, I'm just gonna.
So if you will gain weight again at some point in your life, even if you lost weight every week until you got to your goal, there's gonna be weeks where you gain a pound, lose a pound, gain a pound, lose a pound forever, right?
Yeah, but when we get to the point where we're like you, it doesn't matter. You know, or like your grandma, they were just, well, you gain a pound,
but it doesn't matter right now either. It only matters because you want to lose weight as quickly as you can.
Yeah.
But it doesn't actually matter. Does it matter? So those 2 weeks when you gained a pound, let's say that those never happened. You'd be 14 pounds down instead of 12, right? Would anything be different about your life?
No, I think one week I gained 2 or 3 pounds.
Yeah. So it doesn't actually matter. Do you see what I mean? It matters in the long, like we don't want to let ourselves off the hook and quit the journey, but in the long run, out of the last 10 weeks, 2 of them you've gained weight. If next week you gain weight, then the week after that, you're just going to lose the weight. It doesn't really actually matter. It only matters because you're putting a lot of pressure on it. Do you see what I mean?
I think I feel like it's so soon in my journey that I don't want to lose. I mean, I don't want to gain so soon. Like if it's later on, I don't think I'd be as stressed.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, 1 week I wasn't really stressed about it because 100% was from the prednisone. So I was fine with that.
Right. So if you had lost weight, this is what I want you to take away from this call. If you had lost weight and already kept it off, how would you navigate the wedding?
I'm the same way I am now. I'm not going to go overboard.
What would you eat at the wedding?
Well, luckily there's not a lot of food that I like at the wedding. So that's a good thing, except for bread. So I'm going to probably have garlic bread.
Right.
I don't know exactly what they're having.
Right. So what type of food would you eat at the wedding if you had already lost the weight?
Well, I don't know for 100% what they're having. They're having like pasta, and I'm not a big pasta eater. So maybe a salad and a piece of bread and a piece of cake.
Right. So what we want to do is eat what we would eat if we already lost the weight. Does that make sense?
Right. And that's what I've been
And
doing with everything.
yes, yes, that's what I mean. The stress
Yeah.
that you're feeling about gaining the weight, when you then remind yourself of the journey that we're on, going into that environment and navigating it as a healthy person is a major non-scale victory. Does that make sense? A non-scale victory?
Yeah.
The non-scale victories are almost more important than the scale victories most of the time because you've already lost weight before. This isn't even about losing weight. This is about how we're feeling and how we're acting, right? So going into the environment of the wedding, being like, okay, how can I practice living like a healthy person here? My healthiest self, if I'd already lost the weight, would eat these things. I'm going to eat these things, even though I might gain a little bit of weight, because the alternative is that you don't eat or you drastically undereat at the wedding just because you're on a weight loss journey, right? So
Mm-hmm.
if we come back if we do another call, let's say we do another show in 2 weeks and we come on and you lost weight at the wedding because you didn't eat anything, that would be a scale victory, but a failure off of the scale, right?
Right.
We would be in a better position having you gone and existed in that environment and proved to yourself that you can and not lost weight that week. That's actually more important for becoming the healthy person. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Does that help you take some of the pressure off of
Yeah.
needing to lose weight at that event?
Yeah. And I'm not going to Seattle thinking I'm going to undereat.
Right.
So that's not like my goal. Like, let's starve myself through the wedding.
It's about the balance of like being honest with yourself. What can I eat here that I like, that is a whole food if they have
Right.
them, that doesn't make me feel like shit after I eat it? And for us to
Mm-hmm.
just take the pressure off the scale, to be able to take the pressure off the scale without letting yourself off of the hook and going crazy and eating cake on Thursday and then Friday and then on Saturday, even though it's just one piece per time, there is a point where it's like the healthiest version of me would not do this 3 days in a row, right? So it's just about that delicate balance. Let's do, while we're on this trip, let's do food journaling. I know we haven't done this in some time, but I want to make sure that you feel fully supported while you are
Okay.
actually there. So send me pictures of the food at the wedding and we'll talk more about that.
Yeah.
Just so
The
that we
trip
can
will be
pay.
difficult because we're staying at a hotel. So it's not going to be like I'm going to be making my pizza or anything like that.
Right. Or any of your fruits or the other meats that you're eating. I
I
love that
mean,
you
I'll
just go
take
straight
I'll
to the
take
pizza.
apples.
People are listening to this thinking that you're on some kind of pizza diet. That is not the case, right?
Done it before. Yeah.
So you'll be eating out every meal for how many days?
We leave Friday at lunch and we come back Saturday early evening or Sunday early evening for 2 days, 3
Okay, so
days.
you're gonna have a dinner, breakfast, lunch, dinner, breakfast, lunch. You'll have about 7 meals if you do 3 meals a day, right? How do you want to feel when you return from that trip?
Not gross,
So
not
reflecting on the trip,
bloated.
right?
Yeah,
You're gonna
not
get
bloated,
you're gonna
not
get
full of sodium.
you're gonna get to Sunday night and you want to look back and feel proud that you took care of yourself on that trip, right? So
Hmm.
what are some things that you can eat? Give me some examples of some things you might be able to eat on Friday night. You'll be on the road from Portland to Seattle. It's a 3-hour drive. What
Oh, we'll
can
be
you eat?
there. We're going to get there around 3.
Okay. So what are some things that you might be able to eat out? We don't need to know exactly what we're eating for
I
dinner
don't
and
know. I
breakfast
haven't even
tomorrow.
thought about it.
You
I
could go
just
to
thought of it just now.
you can go to Chick-fil-A and get some grilled nuggets with a side of fruit and barbecue sauce.
I'll get
Right. Yeah. And again, that's not something that I would strongly recommend. I can't control you, but I guarantee that you going into getting some fried nuggets on Friday and then waking up and then getting like, oh, cinnamon roll because we're on vacation. And then going into I don't know, really get any protein. Like, what kind of protein am I going to eat when I'm out? And you go to the wedding and you're like hungry because you haven't eaten enough food because you've been preparing for the wedding. Right. Then you get a
right.
piece of cake and some pasta and you go to bed and you're like, I don't know why I'm so bloated. And you wake up and your rings are tight and you're like, oh, shit. And then you're just totally out of it. Do you see how quickly things get out of hand there?
Yeah.
And that all just kind of stems from the fact that we don't have much of a plan for things we can eat that are actually going to satiate us. There's nothing wrong with fried nuggets over grilled, but you're going to be eating bullshit the whole weekend, including at the
Yeah,
wedding.
we'll probably actually pack like a turkey sandwich or something for dinner on that.
Amazing. What are some things you might be able to do for breakfast the next day?
We'll probably have to find a slush or a smoothie place or something. I have to be somewhere at 6 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, so I don't know how it's all going to work.
Can you see? And again, the healthiest version of you probably doesn't have a plan for every meal.
Right.
But the same way that you have go-to meals at home, we need to have go-to meals for when we're out. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So here's what we're going to do for a homework assignment is figure out one meal that we can eat when we are out that fits inside of the criteria of the common sense diet. So an example of one of those might be grilled nuggets with fruit and a barbecue sauce. That's just what's coming to me because I know you're a Chick-fil-A addict or an ex-Chick-fil-A addict, the way that I used to be. But that's going to be one of our assignments for before this trip. And then we're going to eat
Okay.
we're going to eat that meal on one of the days when we're gone, okay?
Okay.
Okay, anything else you want to talk about, or what do you need to feel supported going into the next week outside of support for that trip?
Nothing. I feel supported always.
Anything else you want to say to the people?
Same thing I already said. If I could do it, you could do it.
Okay, let's go into this trip this weekend thinking about how we can prove to ourselves that we can exist in the environments and actually have a good time. We're going to do that by figuring out a go-to meal when we're eating out and making healthy choices besides at the wedding, okay?
Okay.
Okay, I love you.
Love you. Bye.
If you made it to the end of the podcast, thanks for being here. If you take away anything, let it be that you absolutely do have what it takes to lose weight. And there is a world where you can actually put the issue behind you the same way I did, in the same way that my mom is doing right now. If you'd like for me to guide you through the common sense diet system, the same way that you're witnessing me doing with my mom, you can click the link in the description of this podcast episode or this YouTube video, and I'd be happy to speak with you about it. Either way, see you next week.